this thing on? Hey there, wild souls. Welcome back to another episode of My Spiritual Shit Show, the podcast where I take you on a chaotic, no BS ride through the wild world of spiritual awakening. If you're here, you're probably already knee-deep in this energetic storm, and let me tell you, you're not alone. I'm your host, Christina Stevens, your trusty awakening catalyst and soul liberation guide. And today, we are diving into some seriously juicy cosmic chaos. I'm talking about a period of profound reflection, transformation, and a whole lot of shedding. Think of it as a cosmic spring cleaning. So grab your crystals, a cup of something soothing, or, something a little stronger if you're feeling spicy, and let's break down the energetic forecast for the next few weeks from today, February 22nd, to April 12th, 2025. I know it sounds intense. It's about to get wild in here. And yes, I've got the soundtrack of Wild Thing playing in my head too. Trust me, we're gonna need that energy because it's a roller coaster. Buckle up. Let's do this. All right, let's start by talking about some key astrological events. Oh boy, the planets are making moves and they are definitely not being subtle about it. Let's start with Mars Retrograde Ends, February 23rd. Woohoo! The struggle of Mars retrograde, feeling sluggish and stagnant. During Mars retrograde, everything can feel like it's moving at a snail's pace. Actions feel like they are weighed down, like you're trying to push a heavy boulder uphill. You might feel tired, uninspired, or even frustrated because your energy isn't aligning with your desires. Mars inward energy. Mars, the planet of action, aggression, and willpower, when retrograde asks us to look inward instead of charging forward. It's not about external battles, but internal ones. The retrograde period can feel off and as if something is holding us back from fully expressing our drive. The shift as Mars stations direct, a surge of energy. As Mars ends its retrograde on February 23rd, tomorrow, thank the Lord, hallelujah, and stations direct, the cosmic dam holding back your motivation and action begins to break. It's like a surge of energy, a burst of clarity, and the fog lifts. You'll feel a newfound sense of momentum and drive, like the floodgates have opened. Channeling energy into action. This is your time to take that pent-up energy and turn it into concrete action. You've had the time for introspection, processing, and planning. Now the focus is on doing, on channeling that energy into productive movements that align with your goals. Caution, don't rush. The trap of impulsivity. It's tempting to sprint forward, especially after feeling stuck for so long. But remember, while the surge of energy is real, it's essential to take a moment to pause. Don't rush in with blind force. Reflect before acting. Sure, you're ready to jump back into action, but make sure you have clear intentions. Reflect on what you've learned during the retrograde period. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Make sure that the clarity you gained is informing your decisions. What is the takeaway here? What have you been putting off? This is a pivotal moment. What actions or decisions have you avoided or delayed? Mars retrograde has given you time for reflection. Now it's time to ask, what needs to be done to create some forward momentum? Focus on alignment, not impulse. The key here is to channel the newfound energy wisely. Don't just run in with guns blazing. Action is necessary, but conscious action is even more important. Take the clarity you've gained from the retrograde and align it with your long-term vision. Make sure your actions reflect your deeper purpose. Venus retrograde begins March 1st to April 12th. Venus retrograde, the juicy part. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and values. Venus rules relationships, love, beauty, money, and personal values. When Venus goes retrograde, it's like the universe tells us to press pause and reflect on all of these areas. During this time, things that have been hidden, ignored, or pushed aside, especially in the realms of love and finances, bubble up to the surface. The need for reflection. Venus retrograde is not about moving forward in relationships or purchases, but about looking back, reconsidering, reevaluating, and reassessing. It's a cosmic invitation to dive deep into what we value most in our lives, both internally and externally. Venus in Aries and Pisces, the push-pull energy. Aries, fiery independence. Venus begins its retrograde journey in Aries, a sign known for its boldness, courage, and independence. Aries wants you to stand your ground and assert yourself. Expect questions about your personal desires and what you want from relationships. Are you sacrificing your own needs for others? Venus in Aries will bring those things to light. Pisces, dreamy compassion. But then Venus moves into Pisces, a sign known for its dreaminess, empathy, and deep emotional connections. Pisces energy is all about compassion, emotional bonds, and seeing the best in others, even when they don't deserve it. Here, there's a strong desire for emotional intimacy and understanding. The push-pull between Aries and Pisces. The tension between these two signs could cause inner conflicts. You might feel the desire to assert your independence and stand strong in your boundaries, which is Aries energy, but then have moments of wanting to merge and feel connected on a deeper emotional level, which is your Pisces energy. Navigating this duality will be key during this retrograde. Themes of re-evaluation. Re-evaluating relationships. Venus retrograde asks, what do you truly want in your relationships? Are you stuck in old toxic patterns that you need to break free from? Whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, or family dynamics, this is a time to take a step back and reassess where you stand. Are you holding on to unhealthy connections out of fear, comfort, or old attachments? Reevaluating self-worth. Venus is also about self-worth. Venus retrograde often brings up old wounds and insecurities about how we see ourselves, how we think others see us, and how we value ourselves. Are you putting yourself last? Are you settling for less than you deserve? The retrograde will bring these questions to the surface and push you to rethink your own self-image. Reevaluating finances. Venus also governs money and material possessions. If you've been ignoring, financial concerns, Venus retrograde could bring them back into focus. It might force you to face any financial habits, beliefs, or problems you've been avoiding. But do you have an unhealthy relationship with money? Are you overspending, under-earning, or avoiding financial planning? This period will help you confront those issues. Expect old relationship wounds. The karmic loops. Old relationship wounds are likely to surface during Venus retrograde. This could be a time of facing unresolved issues with past lovers or even patterns you've inherited from your family or past lives. You may find yourself thinking about or even reconnecting with past partners, which could stir up old emotions. Don't be surprised if these unresolved issues resurface for you to process and heal. Idealism versus reality. There's a tendency during Venus retrograde to idealize people or relationships, especially when it comes to romance. You might be tempted to see someone through rose-colored glasses, but this is a reminder to get grounded and see the situation for what it truly is. Are you building up an unrealistic fantasy, or are you dealing with reality? The takeaway here is breaking free from toxic patterns. Venus retrograde is the universe's cosmic wake-up call. If you're stuck in toxic relationship patterns or financial beliefs that no longer serve you, now's the time to reflect and release them. This period is about letting go of anything that no longer aligns with your true values and desires. What do you really want? Ask yourself, what do I truly value in relationships? What do I want from my love life? What are my financial beliefs, and are they supporting me or holding me back? Venus retrograde is asking you to reconsider these things, to get real with yourself, and to break free from anything that's not aligned with your highest good. It's an opportunity to make changes, but only after deep reflection and self-awareness. This Venus retrograde isn't just a time for reflection, it's a time for revolution in how you see yourself, your relationships, and your values. Embrace the lessons it brings and use them to step into a more authentic and aligned version of yourself. And last but certainly not least on the astrology list is Mercury going Gatorade. Or is Mercury in the microwave? Either way, this is going to be happening on March 15th through April 7th. Mercury retrograde, the usual drama. What Mercury rules? Mercury governs communication, technology, travel, and mental processes. So during retrograde, we're looking at a cosmic interruption in all of these areas. Misunderstandings, delayed responses, travel mishaps, and tech issues can all go haywire, but the real disruption is often in how we process and communicate with ourselves. Lovely. Inside your head, Mercury retrograde isn't just about miscommunications with others. It's about you and the stories you tell yourself, or maybe the lies you tell yourself. Either way, this period can stir up old thought patterns, self-doubt, and insecurities. You'll likely be confronted with mental loops or narratives that have been running in the background of your mind for a long time. This is the moment when those stories, the ones that limit you, hold you back, or create self-imposed barriers, demand your attention. Mental loops and illusions. The lies we tell ourselves. See, I told you. During Mercury retrograde, these internal stories might start to feel louder, and you'll realize how much of your reality has been built on illusions. The things you've convinced yourself are true but aren't. It's like pulling back the curtain and seeing the illusion for what it truly is. This could involve the stories you've created around your self-worth, your potential, or your limitations. Illusions versus truth. Have you been telling yourself you can't do something because you're not good enough? Or maybe you've been feeding into the lie that everything must be perfect before you take action. Mercury retrograde brings the opportunity to break free from these illusions. It's uncomfortable. I almost said comfortable. What are you talking about? It's uncomfortable but incredibly liberating once you've gone through it. Communication breakdown, misunderstandings and miscommunication. You've probably heard the classic Mercury retrograde warning about communication mishaps. Expect emails to get lost, messages to be misinterpreted, and important plans to go awry. But rather than just chalking it up, chalking, same thing. Rather than just chalking it up to the retrograde, use it as a signal to reevaluate how you communicate with others and with yourself. Do not forget yourself here, you guys. Redefine how you speak to yourself. Sometimes we're harsher on ourselves than anyone else would be. The way you speak internally shapes your reality. Mercury retrograde can make you reflect on the narratives that are keeping you in a loop, and it's a great time to start replacing old just even thinking about it, as you can see, to start replacing old mental patterns with ones that align with your true self. Rewriting the mental narrative, realignment of your mindset. Mercury retrograde offers a massive opportunity for mental realignment. This is the time to challenge your old beliefs, step out of your comfort zone, and rewrite your mental script. What thoughts are holding you back? What fears have you been clinging to? By taking a step back and reassessing, you'll gain a clearer understanding of what's been holding you back and what you can do to rewrite the narrative moving forward. Create new mental habits. Use this period to reflect on how you can develop healthier thought patterns. Instead of reinforcing self-doubt or limitations, start affirming your power, capability, and growth. Even if it's just one small shift at a time, Mercury retrograde is a powerful moment to begin creating new mental habits that will carry you forward after the retrograde finally frickin' ends. The takeaway here: pay attention to mental clarity. Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to examine your thoughts, especially those that have been on repeat in your mind. Is there something you've been telling yourself that's keeping you stuck? Is it time to break that cycle? This retrograde is your cosmic invitation to release those limiting beliefs and create new mental pathways that align with your true self. Rewriting your narrative. Instead of succumbing to the confusion, take a step back and realign. If there's a recurring story in your head, something about not being enough, not being capable, or not deserving, it's time to rewrite it. Mercury retrograde may feel frustrating, but it's here to help you reframe your mental story and break free from the lies that are holding you back. The mental shift that comes with this period is invaluable. It's a cosmic invitation to ask, what beliefs am I holding on to that no longer serve me? And once you've cracked the illusion, your next chapter begins. Oh, phew. Now that we've gotten the cosmic weather forecast out of the way, it's time to dive into the tarot cards that have been coming up. And let me tell you, the energy here is a little intense. We've got the Judgment card, we've got the Death card, we've got the Hermit card, and oh, bottom of the deck energy was the Devil. Whoa, let's get into it. Judgment, the cosmic wake-up call. First card up is Judgment. This one's like the universe sending you a wake-up text, a cosmic nudge to start reevaluating your past. It's asking you to look at where you've been, what choices you've made, and what needs to be let go of in order to evolve into your true self. Judgment is about awakening. It's a call to stop sleepwalking through life and step into your higher purpose. And right now, with all these planetary shifts, the universe is like, come on, time to wake up. You've been in the dream for long enough. Takeaway: are you ready to let go of the past and step into the next chapter of your life? It's about making empowered decisions that align with your soul's calling. Death card, the end of old cycles. Death. But don't get freaked out. It's not as scary as it sounds. This is the card of profound transformation, and we're talking about the end of old cycles and the birth of new ones. This card is about shedding what no longer serves you. It's like spring cleaning for your soul. Sure, it may feel like a big, ugly goodbye, but think of it like a shedding of an old skin. What do you need to release in order to step into who you are becoming? Death asks you to let go of the old so that you can embrace the new. What's the takeaway here? Well, what do you need to release in your life? Whether it's habits, relationships, or old beliefs, now is the time to let go of what's no longer serving you. The Hermit, solitude and inner wisdom. Yeah, then we've got the Hermit card. It's all about solitude, introspection, and seeking your own inner wisdom. You're being asked to go within and find the answers you've been looking for. No external distractions, no hustle, just you, your soul, and that quiet space inside where the answers already live. Now, with all this cosmic upheaval, this is your invitation to disconnect from the chaos and really listen to what your higher self has been trying to tell you. What's the takeaway here? Get quiet. The answers you're seeking are already within you. Trust yourself and take time for introspection. Now, the Devil card. We had that at the bottom of the deck. That was the energy. Breaking free from illusions. Ooh. And then the big one. The card that literally has me shaking my head a little bit. The Devil. It's lurking at the bottom of the deck, which means it's influencing everything we've talked about so far. The devil represents attachments, illusions, and addictions, energetic or otherwise. It's the shadow side, the stuff we don't want to face, but that's where our real power lies. What toxic patterns are you still tied to? What old stories are you telling yourself that keep you stuck? The devil is here to shine a light on where you're holding yourself back. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Just popped in my head. Anyway, whether through fear, control, or unhealthy attachments. What is the takeaway here? It's time to break free. What illusions or attachments are you holding on to that you need to release? The devil is saying the chains are only there because you choose to keep them on. So, what does this all mean? We are in a period of deep transformation. This isn't just a time to sit back and relax. No, honey, it's a time to reflect, release, and level up. The planets are shaking things up, and the tarot is here to guide you through it. Judgment is calling you to awaken. Death is asking you to shed old cycles. The hermit is telling you to go within, and the devil is forcing you to face your shadows so you can finally break free. It's not going to be easy, but you know what? You're not here for easy. You're here for the big transformative shit. So take it slow, be patient, and remember, you're not alone in this cosmic storm. We're all in this together, making our way through the chaos and into the light. If this episode resonated with you, make sure you share it with your fellow wild souls, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another dose of this chaotic cosmic wisdom, because you never know when these energetic forecasts are actually going to happen from me. And as always, be real, be free, and embrace the chaos. You got this. Bye, y'all. Get off the air. Oof, what a shit show.